Hello, my name is Daniel Rodriguez. I am the Harriman / SLCC Partnership Coordinator. I'm filling in for Paul Fisk today, but we are having one of our transfer workshops. I'll have our presenter introduce themselves, but if you were not able to attend this event or if you want to revisit it, we'll actually have it on YouTube a little bit later today or tomorrow, and you'll be able to rewatch it. But without further ado, I will have our introducer step in.
All right, thank you so much. Here, let me adjust the screen. I'm not as tall as you are. All right, so hello, my name is Annie McMurtry, and I'm the director of the University Writing Center and the Graduate Writing Center here at the University of Utah. I've been invited today to talk to you all about the University Writing Center and all of the services that we have to offer, the ways that you can get support on any writing assignment that you're working on. And I also want to talk to you about some potential job opportunities through the Writing Center for those of you who are already helping others with their writing, but not getting paid for it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and show you our website and just sort of walk through the process about how to make an appointment, what to expect in the Writing Center, and just kind of how to navigate our site. So just one second, I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Share. All right. So this is our website. This is writingcenter.utah.edu, and it's going to be your home base for anything that I'm talking about today. Everything from our Zoom tutorials, our in-person tutorials, e-tutoring, and also how to apply for a job. So I'm going to back up just a little bit. I'll let you enjoy these friendly faces on the screen while I just tell you a little bit about the Writing Center.
We have another student.
Do I need to admit someone? Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah, make sure you remind me or else I'm going to get all. No, that's great. Okay, great. All right, so the University Writing Center is located in the Marriott Library on the second floor by the west entrance. And so that's over by where the campus store is, where the Starbucks is, that entrance. You'll just go up the stairs and we are the first door on your right. Our location is kind of in a fishbowl, so you can walk by and look inside and then hopefully be brave enough to walk in and talk to us at some point. But it's in room 2701. Inside the University Writing Center, there will be a receptionist who will greet you at the door. And then we also have a couple of tutors usually working each hour from 9 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock at night, Monday through Thursday. So that's really convenient for those of you who have really busy lives and maybe even work jobs until 5 o'clock. We're still open until 7, again, Monday through Thursday, for your convenience. And then on Friday, we're open 9 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock p.m. We used to be open a little bit later than that, but we found that nobody wants to do their writing homework on Friday afternoon and evening for some reason. And so we are no longer offering those hours. We also have e-tutoring hours on the weekend and during holidays. And so I'll talk to you about that in just a little bit. So in the Writing Center, what can you expect? Well, the Writing Center is a free and friendly space where you can just get help on anything that you're working on that's writing related. Granted, most of the stuff that we look at in the Writing Center is your coursework. So those are essays that you're writing for your classes, lab reports that you're working on, but we also see a fair bit of documents from like application materials for scholarship essays, for CVs, resumes, cover letters, that kind of thing. And then we also see occasionally just other things that people are working on in their lives. There might be writing their own novel, or writing Valentine's Day poetry, or disputing a parking ticket, and they have to write something convincing. So you can bring in anything that's writing related into the University Writing Center and get some support. So what does the support look like? Well, it's not a drop-off copy editing service. So you can't drop off your paper and say, all right, I'll come back at 5 o'clock to pick this up and I hope I get an A. That would be awesome, but that's not exactly what writing centers are about. Instead, it is basically a couple of people who sit down together and talk about writing. That's kind of the heart of what writing centers are. And so when you walk in and you sit down and work with a tutor, the way that it'll start is probably a little bit of small talk, how are things going and that kind of thing. And then they'll say, all right, so what are we working on today? And you'll say, all right, well, I have this paper that's due for such and such class. These are the things that this is how far I am in my draft. I'm worried about my citations, or I'm worried about my thesis statement, or I've been told I have a lot of comma splices and I want some help. Or, you know what, maybe you haven't written anything yet and you just are not sure how to start the paper, or you've been asked to do something that you've never been asked to do, like a lab report, right? Like what goes into a lab report, or maybe you've been asked to synthesize information and you know what summarize means, or you've done an analysis before, but maybe you don't know what a synthesis is. So our tutors can absolutely work with you to kind of demystify what that genre is asking for, what that assignment sheet is asking for, and then probably do some pre-writing and brainstorming activities with you. So then it's just the two of you talking about the piece. If you have something already written, then the tutor will go over whatever you've written with you. And if you haven't, then it'll be a brainstorming session, and you can leave whenever the tutorial is over. They're 30 minutes long, and you can take as much or as little time as you want. And if you have a really long paper, or you have a specific reason why you might need more than a half an hour, then we're happy to accommodate. It looks like I have something in the chat. Just one second. Oh, never mind. Okay, so let's look together at our website and how you would get connected with one of our tutors. So here are our tutors right here on the opening page. And if you go to About Us, we have a section here that says who we are. If you click there, you'll see our entire staff, starting with me. And we have some graduate tutors in the Graduate Writing Center. And so when you're a graduate student at the U, you'll want to make sure that they read over your coursework and your thesis and dissertation chapters. And then here at LISA, that's where we start our tutors in the University Writing Center, in the undergraduate center. So LISA is an English major from the Honors College with minors in drawing and printmaking. She speaks English and Russian. These are her writing expertise and interests, her favorite quote, and her favorite books. And so if Lisa seems like a good fit for you, then I will show you how to make an appointment with Lisa. So you can learn about our tutors. Here's Ava. Lindsay is a history minor, and Isaac is Cuomo, which I think is business economics, with a minor in writing and rhetoric. Natalie is familiar with sociology and political science, and so she is familiar with APA citations, whereas some of those other tutors might be more comfortable with MLA. Claire is writing and rhetoric, so you can go through and find a tutor that best fits your needs, who might be a good fit for you. We also have a location up at the AIRC, and one tutor who works up there, her name is Jessica. And if that's a space where you spend your time, then Jessica might be the right tutor for you. Okay, so then after you've decided who you want to work with, or if you want to just work with whoever is available, or maybe yeah, you only have an hour available on Thursdays between 11 and 12. Well, then you might not be able to work with anyone that you want from our list. Instead, I'll show you how to view our schedule. So I'm going to go to, well, undergraduate student services will take you to an explanation about our different services. And if you go to undergraduate WC appointment, that means writing center appointment, you'd click here. And it takes you to this login page. If you've never had an appointment or an account in the Writing Center, then you want to click right here where it says register for an account. And this account is free and it only takes about a minute to create an account. It's not hooked up to CIS. So you would click here, register for a new account. It asks for your email address, your name, your graduation year, your student ID, and then a password. You have to prove you're not a robot, and then you click complete registration. After you do that, you can log in here. So I'm going to log in. And this is our schedule. So the way that you read this schedule is that today is Wednesday, September 28th. And these are all of the tutors who have different shifts today, starting with Jessica over at the AIRC location. We also have Nora, who's available for face-to-face appointments or online. Annie, Claire, Bella, Ava. We have lots of tutors working today. Oops, I don't know what I just did. Okay. And it is almost, let's see, it's 11:15. So the next available appointment would be at 11:30 this morning. So who's available at 11:30? Let's take a look. This is from 11 to 12. So right here, reserve 11:30. If I'm going to be up at the ARC, then I would click on Jessica's name here, or I could work with Bella. Or it looks like Natalie is working, but Natalie has an appointment. So only the white boxes are available for appointments. So I'll say, well, I'm not going to be up at the ARC. I'm going to meet with Bella. So I'm going to click right here to create my own appointment with Bella. Isn't that super convenient? So you don't have to call the receptionist. You don't have to come in to make an appointment. You just can make your own appointments, cancel them, modify them, however you see fit. So this is me. Well, at least it was my maiden name. So Ann Ernest, and it's for Wednesday, September 28th with Bella. And then it's going to ask me if I want to meet face-to-face or schedule an online appointment. If you schedule an online appointment, then that will open up a Zoom room and you can meet with Bella at 11:30 in her own professional Zoom room. So it'll look just like this. You guys can share screens with one another and go over your document together. I want to meet with Bella in person though. So I'm going to say, no, I want to schedule a face-to-face appointment. And then it says, what do you want to work on during this tutorial? And I'm going to say that I'm not sure about the organization of my paper and if the claims that I'm making are actually supporting my thesis. So I'm going to click on those two. What kind of an assignment is it? It's a researched argument or an analysis. It's not a group project. I don't remember what course or instructor it's for, so I'm going to leave those blank. And then if I want to, I can upload my paper to the appointment. It's not quite ready yet, and so I'm not going to upload my paper, but I could. And then I would click Create Appointment right here. I'll actually do that just so you can see what it looks like. So anything that you make, so your appointments show up as gold or yellow, and that's to show that you have an appointment. The appointment was saved successfully. Great. And then I go, oh no, but I'm going to still be up here giving this presentation. I can't meet with Bella. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to cancel that appointment. Are you sure you want to cancel this appointment? Yes, I do. And it just removed it from the schedule. Does that make sense? Cool. So that's how you make an appointment in the Writing Center. You don't have to make an appointment. If you were down in the library, close to 11:30 and you walked in, then Bella doesn't have an appointment. She's just sitting there, and you can have a walk-in with her. It's kind of like if you go to the Supercuts or something, right? You walk in and there's no appointments there, then sure, they'll get you right in. But if they have other people who've scheduled stuff with them, then you get to work with the tutor, the next one that's available. And so you might just kind of have to hang out for a bit, or the receptionist will sign you up for an appointment, such as this one at 12:30 with Isaac. Okay, so that's how you make an appointment in the Writing Center. And you'll notice that you can make appointments up to 8 days in advance. So you have a writing assignment that you just found out about today, and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm going to need some help brainstorming ideas. I'm going to make an appointment for tomorrow. And so you can go on here and make an appointment for tomorrow, Thursday. Again, you can choose whatever time works well for you, or base it on the tutor on that bio page about the one you think that you'd get along with best. Or who has the expertise that you are looking for, and you make an account, make an appointment with them. And then you go, well, and I also know that, so I'll write that draft over the weekend. And then I want somebody to take a look at what I have written and have a little bit of accountability for myself. And so on Monday, I'm going to make another appointment and meet with that same tutor, let's say. And so you can make more than one appointment on our schedule, and you can see up to 8 days in advance. So you can kind of plan ahead with due dates for all of your different writing assignments. And I have some things in the chat. Let me see. Oh, sorry. Okay, should I not click on the chat?
No worries.
Okay. I was just wondering if there's ever any questions, then I wanted to address those. I feel like I'm just kind of blathering on and on. Okay. All right. Great. Any questions so far? Almost.
So I came in a bit late. What are the colors of the boxes besides one single color?
Okay, so the white ones are the ones that matter. All right, so the red is just the background color. So Lisa is just not working here. When there's just that red, that's just like the background color. And then the pink and blue, one of them means online. It's a Zoom appointment, and the other one means that it is in person. And that's just to tell our tutors when they look at their shift, if they're needing to log into Zoom to meet with you, or if they're sitting there waiting for a human person to walk into the Writing Center. But for when you're making an appointment for yourself, the thing that matters is white boxes are free. Those are the ones you can click on to make an appointment for yourself. And then once you've made an appointment, yellow is the color that matters, because that's when you're scheduled. And then if you have an online appointment, you would actually, you know what, let's do that real fast, just so you can see it. We'll say, yes, I want to make an online appointment. Create appointment. Okay, and then when it's time for your appointment, you bring up the schedule, click on the yellow box, And then you'll see right here, and then there's a button that says start or join online consultation. You click that, and that's what opens up the Zoom room. So you're not going to get an email with like Zoom room, you know, that standard invitation that it has the passcodes and all of that. It doesn't have anything like that. You just click start or join a consultation, and Bella will be there waiting for you. Okay, so I'm going to move on from the website. So what do tutorials look at? Tutorials, as I said, they're conversations between two writers, but the tutors have been trained to give good, like action forward feedback, right? So I think that most of us have been in bad peer reviews. Is that fair to say? Where you give your paper to, you know, a friend or a classmate, and they'll say something like, well, I don't get it. I'm like, well, what don't you get? I don't know. Like, great. Or like, this is good, you'll get an A. Again, that's not super great feedback either. It feels good for the ego, but it's not great feedback, right? Like, what is working well? Like, what was successful? Are my citations right? Did the introduction do what it's supposed to do? Was my argument sound? Were my research methods, were they sound? Were my arguments effective? What specifically about my arguments were effective? Which one really stood out to you? What questions do you have after reading my document? Like, these are things that I think matter when you're having a conversation about your writing. In addition to, I don't think this sentence makes sense, or I think you mean effect instead of affect, right? Like, there's all kinds of things that you can ask for help with your writing. And if you don't have the language to ask for those specific things, you could just say, I just kind of want to know like what's good and what's not in my paper, right? And then the tutors are trained in this 3-credit course that I teach called Writing 40/20 to give good feedback and read carefully. So yes, the people who work in the writing center are good writers, but the thing that I care about the most when I'm hiring is, are they good readers and communicators? So they can read something and they go, I don't know about this. Let's talk about it, right? Let's make sure this is what you actually meant. I'm not sure if this idea and this idea are as connected as you think they are, right? Is there a logical progression of ideas, that kind of stuff? Okay, so you can have your appointment in person, as I said, in the writing center, sitting, close by, face to face, or you can do an online appointment. We're all very familiar with Zoom these days. We actually didn't have Zoom tutorials until COVID. So yay, COVID, silver lining to this all. Yeah, so, and it's been really popular. People like it a lot. And so that's definitely an option for you, especially if you don't find yourself at the library very often. The other option that I want to show you, let's see, how do I do this? I'll just log out and then I'll take you writingcenter.utah.edu. Again, here's our homepage. And if you go to undergraduate services, you can also click on E-Tutoring. E-Tutoring is a service that the University of Utah has a subscription to, where basically we contribute some tutors to this big tutoring pool, and so do 45 other institutions across the United States. So we contribute writing tutors, but maybe Texas A&M contributes calculus tutors, and Portland State has physics tutors or something like that. And we all put our tutors into this kind of common bowl, right? We can all draw from and use their services. And then For free, again, you can log into E-Tutoring and get help with any of these subjects, from accounting to biology, calculus, developmental math through trigonometry, and again, up through calculus, physics, psychology, Spanish, statistics. I've used the statistics tutors before, and writing. All of these are like Zoom room tutorials. And I realize it's a little bit weird that I'm here to talk to you about the University Writing Center, and I'm telling you where you can get help with your chemistry homework. But that was just kind of part of the package deal. So the part that I care most about, of course, is the asynchronous writing support, where you submit a paper online and within 48 hours, a tutor picks it up, writes feedback back to you. It might be one of our tutors, but again, it might be someone from Arizona State or something like that. They'll write back to you, and then, you know, you never actually meet with your tutor face to face, but it's just another free service, another way that you can get some feedback on whatever you're working on. So that's the part that I care most about. But as part of the package deal, all these other subjects came with it. And so you might as well learn about it as just yet another resource that you have access to at the U. And so to see this week's schedule of live one-on-one tutoring, click here. So again, today is Wednesday, September 28th. If you need help with your accounting homework, oh my goodness, you are in luck. Starting at 6 o'clock this morning, it looks like Robert was available to work with you for your accounting homework all the way down. Oh, goodness gracious. Robert's also working until 9:30 tonight. Sign language, calculus, chemistry, here are all the subjects that are being tutored today. Does that make sense to everyone? So you'll log in with your CIS username and password. I'll show you where. Oops. Right here on this little button. If I click it, it's going to take me to the CIS username login page. And I actually don't have an account because I'm not a student. And so my administrator page looks really wonky. It's not going to look like your page, and it's not going to be helpful to you at all. So I'm just showing you where you should go. And you should also know that schedule is in Pacific time. So it was actually, let's see, Robert was available at what time? 6:30 this morning. So it was actually 7:30 this morning, our time, and he's available until 10:30 then tonight. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So e-tutoring is great in that it's yet another way that you can get free help on your writing, but it's not for procrastinators. Technically, it might take up to 48 hours to get a response. So if your paper is due tomorrow, probably not super helpful. And also I like actually talking to a real person, especially about writing, where it's like, hey, what did you mean here? Oh, well, I meant such and such. Oh, okay, well, maybe you could reword it this way. See, there's that like nice back and forth that would happen when you're discussing an idea or something in a specific paragraph. That's a little bit harder to do when it's just a letter that's written back to you with some comments in the margins. But it wouldn't hurt to submit your paper to E-Tutoring and come into the Writing Center. Again, both are totally free. And the last thing that I want to talk to you about is a job opportunity in the Writing Center. And also we have a resources page. Let me click on it really fast. I won't go into too many details here. But if you're asked to write a literature review, let's say, we have a handout on that, and also a video of me talking about, let me see, a literature review. I think I talked about Emily Dickinson in that video, so enjoy. And also how to write a personal statement, some examples of cover letters. If you've been asked to write in MLA style and you're not really sure how to do that, of course, there's lots of websites out there, but we also have a handout that we made in the Writing Center on MLA, APA, and Chicago style. And then here are some other ones on paraphrasing and summarizing, thesis statements, emailing professors. You wouldn't believe how popular that handout is actually. So you don't say like, hi, did I miss anything? Thanks, Sam, from your Hotmail.
That you created from.
That's right. And the professor is like, yeah, you missed something. That was insulting, first of all. And second, who are you? What class are you from? Right. So yeah, the emailing professors handout is actually really popular. And then we have some other links for the Community Writing Center, the Career and Professional Development Center, Grammarly, and some other places. Okay. So let me take you in my last moments here about how to become a tutor in the Writing Center. So I know I'm biased, but I think that Writing Centers just attract the best, most wonderful people. They are like the most friendly, supportive spaces, I think, on campus. Like, I love them. I've been doing Writing Center work for 20 years, and there are just very few jerks in this world who want to help others with their writing. You know what I mean? So like, if they just gravitate into the Writing Center, we have actually this semester, not so much, but a lot of folks from social work also are tutors, future teachers in both English and special ed. But then because we've had so many students from STEM fields coming in and getting help in the Writing Center, they're like, this is awesome. And then they apply for jobs in the Writing Center. And so it's a cool space. And I really hope that if you think that you might be interested in working in the Writing Center, that we chat. My email address, so again, my name is Ann McMurtry. I go by Annie, but don't type in Annie.McMurtry. It won't get to me. So Ann McMurtry, and we can just sort of chat about what the responsibilities are, what you might have in store for you as a tutor. But really, as I've kind of said a few times in this presentation, you're sitting down with another person with their writing and you're talking about it. What's really effective? What's awesome that's happening here? And what questions do you have? Where were you lost? Where are they kind of off track just a little bit? You don't need to be an expert in all genres and all fields. You just have to be kind of like a friendly person, a good communicator, and a good reader. It helps also to be a pretty solid writer. And so if you have done well in your other classes, especially in Writing 2010, if you've gotten an A or a B, and maybe you have family members or roommates who have come to you and they say, hey, can you look at my paper before I turn this in? Then you are a natural candidate for working in the Writing Center. I accept applications all through April. And then I do interviews at the end of April and beginning of May. And then if you have a job for the fall. So your job would start in August. It would be a combination of in-person hours and online hours, most likely. What else do you need to know? It's $12 an hour, which isn't amazing. I know that because the Arctic Circle next to my house is paying 13 to 15 starting, making me look really bad here, but I can promise you that it's a better work environment than the Arctic Circle. And you also get paid even if we don't have clients coming in. And so you can work on your own projects and get paid for it. You also don't have to commute if you're already on campus, and we have really flexible scheduling. So if you have a morning class on Monday and an afternoon class on Monday, and you have 3 hours in between, that sounds like a perfect Writing Center shift, right? So you can just make some money and get some experience in between your classes. So to apply for that job, I'd like to see your current CV or your resume. I'd like to see a writing sample. Something that isn't a poem would be great. Some kind of academic writing sample. And then if you've had other people write letters of recommendation for you, then I'd love to read them. I want to hear other people say how awesome you are, but you do not have to get letters of recommendation specifically to apply for this job. I'm asked to write a lot of letters, and it's unnecessary. You don't have to do that with your professors to apply, and then an unofficial transcript. So you would have to take a 3-credit tutor training course in the fall with me, but it's a really great class. You learn how to, again, give great feedback to others. We talk about language a lot. We talk about the role of a tutor and how that's different than a role of a teacher or a copy editor. We talk about how there's an intersection between writing center work and race, ability/disability, neurodivergent clients, how to best help them, blind, deaf students, and how to best help people while working online. So there's in-person tutorials, Zoom tutorials, asynchronous e-tutoring tutorials, and a job opportunity here on campus. Are there any questions? No questions because you're shy or because I was super descriptive? All right, that's great. Let's see. I don't see any new things in the chat.
Maybe let's do a stop share, and then we can pull up the chat.
Sure.
Perfect. No questions then.
So we don't want to share screen, right? Or do we?
We can if you want to just put up your final contact information, and then
Sure.
a quick second after that.
Okay.
If you hit
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, I'm gonna just go right here. Share. Okay, so to contact me, I'm kind of I'm plastered all over this website. So under the Become a Tutor, there's a link to email me at Ann McMurtry. If we go to who we are, and I'm the first person on here to email Ann, I'm right here. If you're having trouble with e-tutoring, logging in, there's something wrong with your account, guess what? I'm the contact person. So contact Ann McMurtry at utah.edu. I'm all over this thing. And so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out directly to me, or you can call us at 801-587-9112. And that is our front desk reception office, or come in and see us. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I did go over a half hour. I didn't think I had 39 minutes of content. Thanks for being patient, everyone.
Gonna jump on for a
Yeah.
quick second.
Sounds great.
Hello, everyone. It's Daniel again. We're just wrapping up the session. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Paul Fisk. He's the organizer of the event, or I'll drop my email in the chat as well if you do have questions. And we'll look forward to our next transfer workshop. So keep an eye on that, and then we'll go from there. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.